I don't know about you, but I've always been the give me the biggest phone type of guy. Years ago, I was on the Note line just for that reason alone. As other phones start to catch up to screen size, other factors came into play for me when choosing a phone. Screen size over the time has become bigger, but the need for the most massive screen for me has decreased. Before, it was all about multitasking on my phone, but now I need to multitask more away from the phone. Last year I used the 11 Pro Max as my main phone, but deep down inside, I knew I'd be wanting to downsize my screen. This is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's bigger than the 11 Pro Max, and I've been using it quite a bit over the past few weeks. So we gotta talk about it.
Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah.
Okay, let's go 12 Pro Max. Design-wise, it's not a shocker that I absolutely love how it looks. This might be Apple's best designed phone. The squared out form factor provides a balance with a side of premium. It's built like a tank and it's made to withstand some drops. Just the build and the construction of it, Apple talked about it a lot, and I've seen drop tests, and yeah, it does withstand drops pretty good. Now obviously all that stuff I just mentioned is good, but the phone size is just too big. The squared off design works better on the smaller sizes, but at this form factor, for me, it's just uncomfortable. The 11 Pro Max was large too, don't get me wrong, but this phone just amplifies how big it is because it's squared off. I will say doing bigger tasks that I normally grab my iPad for, I just did it on the phone without thinking. I was editing video and photos and playing games. Also, I did edit some of this video you're watching right now in LumaFusion on the iPhone, which is crazy to think about, editing a full 4K video on a cell phone. Wow. Once you get past the size of the phone, the actual screen is amazing to look at. I put it right up there next to the Galaxy Note lineup. I love how it looks. The blacks are infinity, colors are fantastic, but yet it is still realistic. When watching HDR content shot on this phone or from different sources, you can see how great the screen is. Look, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with a stick, so I'll say this and just move on. I promise my last time saying it. This phone needs a high refresh rate screen. It's a missed opportunity to make a slam dunk with your biggest and boldest phone that you made. There, I said it, now let's move on. Let's take a quick break from the video to talk about today's sponsor, Upsy. I'm not kidding anyone here. These phones are extremely expensive, but if you happen to break one of your screens, they cost hundreds to repair. Of course, there are other warranties on the market, but Upsy is actually shaking up the game with a couple cool things that they do. Number one, if you have an Apple device, you can take it directly to the Genius Bar and get your phone repaired from Apple experts. Upsy then pays you back via reimbursements, and for whatever reason, if they can't fix your phone, they will then replace your phone. And it's actually cheaper than Apple Care's warranty as well. You can also have multiple claims of the same device up to the cost of the device. So if you're accident prone or have a little toddler that wants to break your phones like I do, that is a good option. And their plans are transparent. They are written on their website. There's no fine print you have to sift through or anything like that. Just go to their website and read out their plans and coverage right there. Anyways, guys, a big thanks to Upsy for sponsoring this portion of the video. Use code TechNinja for 10% off when you sign up. And now, let's get back to the iPhone. I discussed performance in my other iPhone 12 videos and nothing has changed here. It's still the fastest iPhone around, which is obvious since it's the newest one too. But moving large files, editing, exporting, gaming, all that stuff is a buttery smooth experience and it just gets better. iOS 14 multitasking has seen a great bump, so being able to have picture-in-picture with some apps is all very fluid, like going on Twitter and watching Twitch at the same time. You can do it. It also does have LiDAR technology, which Apple is promising AR will finally be a thing, so LiDAR will be used for that. But until that happens, it's just a cool spec to list and it's not quite a buying point yet. One big advantage of the Pro Max has to be the camera. Larger sensors allowing for better low-light photography, and for the most part, the low-light photos look great. It's also easier to take pictures of moving subjects at night. Typically, it's a 2 to 3 second exposure time. Now it's down to 1 second. Still not perfect. Trying to take a portrait of my son while he's moving around is still almost impossible. but the majority of the time I get great shots. Shots that are in lower light ends up looking like evenly lit shots, and shots in pitch black somehow gets lit enough to the point where you can make out the image. It also does have physical stabilization for video, which kicks in when it's needed, and I think it looks really good. Video mode is the best on this phone compared to anything else. You can also shoot in Apple RAW, so you can edit the photos in much greater detail. Third-party apps allows you to shoot in RAW already, but this is native RAW, which I would assume would be in higher quality once this feature rolls out. Also, one more thing about the Pro Max's camera is that it has a 2.5x zoom instead of a 2x zoom. Beyond those upgrades, it's the same great camera that I talked about in my iPhone 12 videos. Battery life is good, but still behind the 11 Pro Max since the battery is actually smaller. Still, you can use this phone the whole day or even a little bit into the next day without worrying about battery, so that's not a big deal. But I just hate to see a new product become worse in a certain category. I guess in conclusion is that if you need to have a giant screen with all the specs available, I get it. There's no judgment here. I was that person before, and nothing is wrong with being that person. I'm just not that guy anymore. And once again, I said in the Pro video, this phone starts at $1,100, and the phone is costly, and the benefits you get out of this compared to the standard edition just isn't there. Also, the form factor for this phone makes it hard for me to hold, and it's cumbersome for me day to day. Look, at the end of the day, it's always your decision on the screen size that is perfect for you. If you're that person that wants to consume media and needs that screen size and, wants the best features on your phone, then of course, go with the Pro Max. You would not be disappointed, but I think a lot of people feel that phones are getting too big, and that's why Apple made the Mini. The Mini's too small, but I just think the regular good old iPhone 12 is the perfect size for me. But of course, millions of people will disagree with me on that, and millions will agree with me on that too, because I think there's just a segment of people who want a smaller phone and want a larger phone, and that's why Apple made phones for all sizes. And that's the beauty of it. You have choices, you got options. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.